Hello, everybody. Welcome to our webinar. Let's see. I think people are going to start dropping in. We'll just give it a few seconds to let people. But Liz, I don't know if you would like to hop in and introduce
Sure.
everybody and do the welcomes for us. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks, Matt. So, my name is Liz Link, and Matthew and I will be co hosting today's session, asking a few questions of our incredible, lovely lead instructors, Julia, and Susan. So, as we wait for just a little bit for people to log on, we thought that we would first start by just kind of getting to know us. So, Matthew and I are both supporting the New Mexico School of Massage with marketing and are super fans of our school. And of course, Julia and Susan are incredibly talented. And we thought that we might start with digging into their backgrounds and understanding who they are. We'll wait just for just a little bit longer for anyone to log in. And Matt, do you have any reflections before we get started?
I mean, I would love to begin if everyone's comfortable with it. Just
Sure.
saying, the gratitude for Julia and Susan for being here, and Liz, and the opportunity to share about our school with everyone attending, and to the people attending. Thank you for coming and watching this video and showing interest in our school and a career in massage. And I think even just taking that step and being here with us is such a big and important one. I know one that Liz and I often talk about this, like how big that first step is, and Liz, I know you feel this too. That being in the space, coming here, it's already a beginning of that commitment, and we appreciate that.
Yes. So, in honor of your time and showing up, we just want to remind that we are waiving the application fee for anyone who is joining and tuning in and watching this webinar. So, stay tuned for more, but just remember that you do get that little gift from us in appreciation of your time and experience here. All right, so let's dig in. I've always been really curious, why massage? And Susan, let's start with you. If you give us a little bit about your background, what attracted you to massage, why become a teacher? And then for anyone considering either a career in massage or just learning a little bit more for their own self-healing, what advice or what would you give to someone to kind of take that next step?
Well, the first thing I really want to say is just welcome to everyone. We're delighted that you're here. And to kind of echo what Matthew said, this is an important step, but I like to always remind students to sit for a moment and just reflect about all the little things that happen, the little decisions, the little thoughts that happened even before you join the webinar. So basically, your journey has already begun. And that's really what I want to say. Your journey has already begun. Again, my name is Susan Salvo, and I have been a massage therapist for over 40 years. So that in itself is kind of a testimony in longevity of this career. I wouldn't be in this career if I didn't enjoy it, if I didn't see a lot of personal and professional growth in it. And how I became a massage therapist was really kind of interesting because in the 1980s, this was not really a profession most people sought. And I had met a massage therapist through a midwife, and I got my very first massage, which is absolutely amazing. And I was going through nursing school. And at that point in the nursing profession, the higher paid nurses, which are the RNs, were basically doing patient management, not patient care. And that's a difference. So they weren't really doing the hands-on care. And so I realized it's like, well, I really wanted to be involved with helping people, but I wanted the hands-on aspect of it. And in the nursing program I was going to, they had a physical therapist come in to talk about other allied healthcare professions. And what he said was that there was a gap between the hurting patient and the surgeon's knife. There was a gap between the hurting patient and the surgeon's knife. Now, what he said was physical therapy fits that gap very nicely. But what I heard was massage therapy fit that gap very nicely. And a big part of it is because of access. And this is another big theme of the school, is reducing barriers, access to tools and education. And so at the point in the 1980s, there was a barrier to get to the physical therapist, was the prescription pad. So you had to jump through a hoop to go to the doctor, and then jump a hoop to go to get the prescription. And also equally important is PTs are tied, or were tied, I'm not going to say it's true now or not, but we're tied to the prescription pad. So if the pad said work the shoulders, but the problem was really in the lower back or another aspect of the body, they could not touch those areas. So they didn't take a holistic approach to the human body and to biomechanics. So again, it's kind of the perfect storm. About that same time, two more things happened. Again, all the little things that happen before you decide this is the next step I'm going to take. I live in a community in Louisiana, but there's a lot of refineries, and without an education, the best job to get is at a refinery. So, but what I noticed is a lot of people who had given their lives and sweat and blood and tears to a career were getting forced layoff, forced retirement. So I learned really quickly at a young age that the only way to have true job security is to be self-employed. And so that was something that really hit me hard. And then the last thing, which is the kind of the icing on the cake, was my sister, who loves quotes, as I do. I inherited that from her. She had a quote on her mirror in her room that from my favorite actress, Katharine Hepburn. And Katharine Hepburn said, life is to be lived, but if you have to make a living, you better find something that's interesting. And massage is incredibly interesting. In fact, it has kept my interest for over 40 years, and it hasn't stopped. I don't plan to retire ever, actually. There's no reason to really to retire, because you're self-employed. So that's kind of, all those things kind of culminated together. And at the time, there were actually no massage schools in the state of Louisiana. So I had to take the risk of relocation. And one of my favorite quotes is, to risk nothing is to risk everything. Mm-hmm. To risk nothing is to risk everything. So I made the decision to actually travel from Louisiana, and it's a little side story. So I actually went to Arkansas first. There was a school outside of Fayetteville, but the way the school was set up, it was a basically, we call it now distance learning, because the internet wasn't popular back then. So basically they would give you these big notebooks of information, want you to learn it, and then come back to the school once every few weeks to go the hands-on technique. And that's not what I wanted. I wanted a fully immersive program, which is exactly what we offer here. So I found one. I went from Arkansas to New Mexico, actually Albuquerque, New Mexico. So this is basically my alma mater geographically. And I never looked back. From the first day I walked in that classroom, I fell in love with the profession. And an important piece to what we're doing here is Julie and I try to recreate that magic that I experienced the very first day with our students as well. So why do I teach? Well, that's kind of it. I love the magic. I love learning. I love sharing the power, the gift of massage to students. I actually have a doctorate in education. I love the whole aspect of massage education so much. And that's pretty much it. Again, I just cannot say enough about what a fulfilling, gratifying, and physically satisfying too, because this is a physically demanding profession, but that's one of the things that I like about it. I think that has helped me stay healthy into my technically retirement years, is because it's so mentally challenging, cognitively challenging, and physically satisfying, and spiritually satisfying as well.
Wow, what a wonderful story. Thank you. I hadn't actually heard that before either. So Julia, how about you? What's your background? What attracted you to massage?
So I worked at the Ayurvedic Institute for about 7 years. And when I first started there, I was a receptionist, and I was in college and working on my business degree. And when I was there, my boss at the time, Ed, he said, Julia, you ever think about doing Shirodhara? which is a kind of Ayurvedic body work. And I was like, yeah, I would try that. So for Shirodara, you don't need a massage license. So I started doing Shirodara and I just fell in love with it. I remember so vividly the first professional session I gave that I was just like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to do feeling. So I just fell in love with that. And I wanted to do more body work. I wanted to be able to make a career out of it because, Shirodara is wonderful, but you can't get a job doing that everywhere. So I decided to go to massage school so I could get my license in massage therapy and do more body work. So went to massage school here in Albuquerque. Actually, me and Susan went to the same school. And loved it. I thought it was an amazing program. So went there, got my massage license, still kept working at the Ayurvedic Institute, started doing Abhyanga there, which is the traditional Ayurvedic oil massage. Loved that. I eventually became the operations manager of that Panchakarma center. So I managed a spa for a couple years. And while I was there, Shannon approached me and says, Dr. Ladd wants to open a massage school. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. And she says, yeah, can you help me a little bit with it? Because Shannon, she wasn't a massage therapist. And she was like, well, can you talk to me about like the ins and outs of this industry? And I was like, yes, absolutely. And so we had a meeting. And just during that first meeting, I was like, I want to be involved in this. I want to be at the school. So even though the school's only been open since January, this has been, years in the making that, has took so much time to, put our curriculum together, get Susan here, hire our instructors, find the space, doing so much. And yeah, I was so grateful to be able to be a part of that from the very beginning. And
that's incredible.
Build this school to what it is now.
Wow. So you mentioned the Ayurvedic Institute, and I know that partnership, like you said, it's kind of 40 years in the making. The Ayurvedic Institute has been in Albuquerque for over 35 years. So you imagine all of the learnings there coupled with Susan, your experience, which I don't think you'll put it this way, but I'm going to put it this way. If you don't know Susan, she is an incredibly well-known, internationally renowned massage therapist. She's written the foundational textbook. So if you go anywhere to learn massage, likely you'll come across her writings. And she also served on the board for the national licensing exam, so helped write the national exam. So you're coming into this school with years of experience. So even though it might have been opened in January, you're relying on this incredibly professional background experience. So we've had years to hone this. So Julia, can you describe a little bit more about that partnership with the Ayurvedic Institute and what makes that so special and unique at this school?
Yes, so we are kind of a sister school to the Ayurvedic Institute. So Sneha Rechada, the Dean of Education for the Ayurvedic Institute, is also our Dean of Education. And that's how this program came about, is because massage couples so well with Ayurveda. And we have our Ayurvedic studies program there, and adding massage to an Ayurvedic practitioner certification makes it just couple so well together, and they work so well together and make just such good offerings that you can offer for your clients. So something that we do a lot in Ayurveda and Panchakarma is Abhyanga, which I mentioned. That's the traditional Indian oil massage. So here at the school, we teach that massage. We teach Abhyanga. That's part of our program here. It's an elective within our massage program. And then we also teach it as a continuing education class. And this is the only place in the world that you can learn this sequence, because it's a sequence that Dr. Ladd created himself for Abhyanga. And it's a beautiful sequence. And I always tell people in Sanskrit, the word sneha means oil, but it also means love. So then Abhyanga is saturation with oil, but it also means saturation with love. And that's really what it feels like, is it's just a beautiful treatment, very nurturing, very loving. And it's the sequence that Dr. Ladd created that you can only learn here. So that's a really amazing thing that we offer as part of our program.
That's incredible. And for those who may not be familiar with Vasant Lal, He's an incredible Ayurvedic doctor, teacher, practitioner, and world-renowned again. People fly in from all over the world to Albuquerque, New Mexico, not only to learn from him, but also to receive treatments. And so for Julia to have had that exposure and Susan to partner with Dr. Ladd on this venture, what an incredible experience for our students to come in and learn the Ayurveda approach, 5,000 years worth of knowledge in addition to massage therapy. So what an incredible experience. I just want to take a quick pause, and for anyone that has joined us, Matt posted in the chat, please post your questions and we'll get to those at the end of our little discussion here. But Susan, you touched on, we're kind of digging into the differentiation of our school. What makes it so unique? What makes it so special? You talked about the longevity of your career and body mechanics. You know, how do you support students with that? We've talked about adding a curriculum piece with the Ayurvedic Institute. But yeah, can you dig in a little bit more and tell us about how you prepare students to be successful?
Well, I'll first start with the body mechanics piece because Julia teaches massage and she is an absolute fanatic. Fanatic's probably too strong of a word, but she's very much conscientious about her own body mechanics, her students' body mechanics, correcting little imperfections that will help students when they graduate have a long, successful career, to be able to use their body more efficiently. And another thing that's really special about our program is we start again from day one. Not only the students experience the magic on the first day, but we also build a strong learning community. And that learning community is going to last post-graduation into their professional careers, because what the research says is that that sense of supporting network is actually one of the factors that contributes to career longevity. So we know that and we use it, which also segues me into the other thing is we are, even though we're very much into the tradition, the 5,000 year tradition of Ayurveda, we also have a very strong evidence-based practice piece. And that's kind of my forte. So we teach evidence informed practice, how to do research, how to evaluate research or evidence really, and how to, we make them do what's called a PICO, P-I-C-O assignment. And they have to formulate a research question and use that question to ascertain keywords, and then use keywords for search. And we teach them how to even evaluate their sources. We only want them to use credible sources. And then we use that as a foundation for what's called a capstone project. So we make them write a paper and then present the paper. And then that's another thing I think that's really special about our program is even though we're teaching you a career-ready occupation, you're going to be ready to work when you walk out our door, we also understand the value of multiple skill sets. So you're not just learning one type of massage or not just learning one type of intake or one angle. You're approaching massage and body work from multiple different angles, multiple perspectives. And so that is another big strong thing about our program. So we have the evidence-informed practice, the traditional piece, and they're both equally valued. We have the strong sense of community also, and the thing that I love the most, well, there's lots of things that I love, but is the total immersion into the material. So it's a 16-week program. You start from day one learning a massage, actually. You learn a seated massage the very first weekend. And then we start building the infection control piece, the body mechanics piece. We do also pay homage to our ancestors through a history of massage class. Then we go into draping, which is very important, of course, body mechanics with Julia. Then we start focusing on the anatomy and physiology. In fact, one of my favorite definitions of massage is the study of anatomy in Braille. So we spend a lot of time on what's called palpatory anatomy. We have 3 solid weeks just of like every day of kinesiology. Another thing that we help students with becoming career ready is they participate in a public clinic, a student clinic. And so at a certain point in the curriculum, we open up our doors for the general public to come in, and then the classroom becomes what I call a living classroom. So they're immersed in the type of clients and situations they're going to see when they get out of practice. So they'll have self-care cases, they'll have clinical cases, they'll have to adapt their massage for certain conditions and pathologies, which I'm a big pathology nerd. Again, so it's a balanced program, but it's an immersive program. And because it's only 16 weeks, we have gotten the attention of a lot of local businesses, which is just another thing that I don't think we were prepared for when we started. It was like, whoa. So we have had people knocking on our doors saying, we will help fund students if they come to work for us after graduation. So again, and that's really the ultimate goal is employment. But there's also some sub goals, which is just personal fulfillment, meaningful career, helping others, just so many other things about it. But most of our students do want to make a living doing this, and you can make a fantastic living doing this and have a whole lot of fun doing it.
Cool. Yeah, so Julia, I know you teach the body mechanics and you've invited those local businesses. So, how did they hear about us? Can you describe a little bit more about the body mechanics portion and preparing students for a career throughout life, and then also this business intersection? That's part of your background too, but just understanding what the businesses come in and teach and offer as well with the students.
Absolutely. So yes, I remember so vividly when I was going through massage school, I had someone tell me massage is like modeling. It's a short career, puts a lot of wear and tear on your body, and you're not going to last. And that's not true.
It's not true.
False.
People
Myth-busting.
False myth-busting. I love it. Yes.
And people like Susan, prove that that's not accurate. I know massage therapists who are in their 70s and still practicing full time. I know multiple massage therapists who have been doing this for, 30, 40 plus years. And the difference for that is really body mechanics, that you have to take care of your body. You have to know how to take care of your body. And so this is something I really focus on when I teach massage, is teaching students how to take care of their bodies and not, I hate the mentality that you have to hurt yourself in order to help someone else. That's not true. You should never hurt yourself in order to help the client feel better. So we really work with that. We do a lot of self-care. We do yoga here. We do, just a lot with teaching you how to use your body in a way that's safe, that's good for your body, that's going to be comfortable, you're not going to hurt. And I tell the students all the time, if you're feeling sore, if you're hurting, tell me, because I'm going to watch you massage then, and I'll tell you how you can modify it so maybe your back doesn't hurt or your thumbs don't hurt, and make this a profession that you can have a lot of longevity in, because that's really our goal here, is for our students to graduate and be able to have careers in massage for as long as they want to. So we focus a lot on that here. And then Liz, the other thing I'm really excited about here is our student clinic. That was one of the things I was most excited about for the school. And one of the reasons for that is because it's a student clinic, we can make it really affordable for people. So we invite members of our community to come in here and have low-cost massage from our students with my supervision. And it's such a good way to give back to the community. And I tell the students this, that they are helping people so much by going to school here, that it's not just something they're doing for them, but they're also benefiting so many people in our community, because there's a lot of people that can benefit from massage, but not everyone has $100 to spend every week to go to a spa or to go to a chiropractor and get a massage, but they might have 40. And so they can come here to our student clinic, and I tell our students, you're helping people recover from injuries. You're helping people with pain management. You're helping people accept their bodies. You're helping people feel worthy of touch. You're helping people manage their depression and anxiety. There's so many things that massage is beneficial for. And by having our student clinic here, we're able to make massage accessible to people that it wouldn't be accessible to otherwise. So that's something that I'm really excited about here.
And Julia, I love that. Thank you so much. Because I know we've had this conversation in the past about how, the focus also of our clinic is, and I'd love for you to pick this up and run with it. But this idea of this energetic exchange that happens, right? That we also, when we're healers and we're working with people, there's also healing and processes that are happening within us at the same time, and there's this exchange between us and our clients. And if you would feel comfortable speaking either about the programs that maybe help support, I know you just mentioned the mental health side, but other ways that maybe we prep our students for that exchange and how they can help manage that space for their clients and patients.
It's funny. I've heard people say that everyone should go to massage school, regardless of if you want to be a massage therapist or not. And the reason for that is that there is so much self-work, self-discovery, self-healing that happens in massage school, that a lot of what we do here is when I'm teaching in massage class, we're trading. So you'll give a massage and then you'll receive a massage from one of your classmates. And we do that pretty much every day. Every afternoon, Susan will lecture in the morning and then I'm doing the massage in the afternoon. And you'll never get that much body work in your entire life. So it's just, normal for things to come up, that there's going to be things stored in your body, whether that's, past emotions, past trauma, things that maybe you just haven't fully dealt with in your life that are going to come up. And it's such a beautiful thing here that we are such an immersive program, because what we notice with the students is they all get so close that they become just like a little family. And it makes it a really safe place to have that healing. And, if you're feeling emotional that day or you're having stuff come up, we'll meet you where you are. We accept you here. And yeah, it's definitely work that you're helping to facilitate other people heal, but at the same time, you're healing yourself as well.
Yeah, that's incredible. And I know, Matt, you touched on the mental health. Susan, can you describe what we offer there and, kind of the curriculum around mental health?
Well, we do a lot actually with pathology. We do consider the mental health issues, and mental health is really two key aspects. There's a couple of smaller pieces underneath. It's either, they're both ends of the spectrum, and depression and anxiety. So we talk about PTSD, we talk about also sleep disorders, we talk about eating disorders, and we spend a lot of time talking about even suicide issues, because that's a big issue we're having in our society right now. So we learn a technique called Q. I gotta write this out. Q PR, question, persuade, response, and refer. And basically, it means that if your client you're taught how to recognize signals of suicide and then where to refer them for help. And it's like the CPR of heart attack. So it's basically first aid, which is within our scope of practice, that we can facilitate that movement of the patient in mental anguish or client in mental anguish to the proper resources so they can get some help. But we also teach if it's anxiety, a nurturing massage. If it's depression, a nurturing massage. We talk about, again, it's a little bit too much to go into now, but interoception. That's one of the mechanisms of action, is we repair a broken interoceptive system. But you'll learn all about this because it actually segues beautifully into the nervous system, which is, we spend a lot of time talking about the nervous system, probably more so than any body system, because that's really what we're finding as a massage practitioner, where our mechanisms of action really lie. And it's really not what we thought it was originally. If you look at the research, it's all nervous system, neurotransmitters, hormone release, oxytocin, skin receptors. And it's just an amazing approach, again, taking the sciences and being able to apply it into a condition appropriate and client-centered session. And I'll say that because I think it's important for all your listeners to hear, is we teach a condition appropriate but client-centered session.
Wow. Yeah, and I would say that's what these businesses are seeing in us, and just recognizing we're preparing our students. It's not just about learning one type of massage, it's learning the layers. And to your point earlier, that passion of being able to say and provide that access to people to say, this might be your first step on a longer healing journey, but we're able to support them in where, meet them wherever they are, move them through our, and support our clients. And then our students are just really well prepared. So kind of going back to that, just any comments that you would say local business owners have had, since you mentioned that before?
So it's so funny. This past, what we call massage year, so our past massage class that just graduated, we had more businesses contact us wanting to hire our graduates than we had graduates.
So hurry, sign up.
Yes.
A chiropractor called me a couple weeks ago and said, finding a massage therapist right now is like finding a unicorn. Like and that's the climate of Albuquerque and New Mexico right now in the massage community. A lot of the massage schools closed down during COVID. So normally these massage schools would be producing graduates every few months, but that didn't happen for a couple years. So there is a massive shortage of massage therapists in Albuquerque and in New Mexico right now, and probably other places in the country too, that we're seeing everywhere's hiring, like just literally everywhere. Pay is going up, benefits are improving, sign-on bonuses are happening. Just these people are fighting over our graduates on who can offer the best thing for them. So that puts people in such an amazing place to go to massage school, because there is so much opportunity out there right now for new massage therapists coming into this industry.
And we've been job ready in 16 weeks. So would you share some of the job opportunities out there?
Yeah, please do. Let's go.
I have a list. Okay, so in alphabetical order, are you ready?
Sure, let's do it.
Clinics, airports. I'm not kidding you. I've had a massage in the Denver airport and the SeaTac airport before. Athletic teams and dance companies, casinos, chiropractic clinics, already mentioned previously, corporate wellness programs, cruise lines. I'll talk a lot about that later if you want me to. Day spas, dentist offices for TMJ massage, facial salons, nail salons, and beauty salons, so collectively. Golf, tennis, and country clubs, gyms and health clubs, hospital-based massage, very popular right now. Hotels, massage franchise, we've already kind of talked about that. Nursing homes is another one. On-site massage in offices and business offices, pain management clinics, physical therapy clinics, rehabilitation clinics, sports medicine clinics, private practice, which is what I focus on, psychiatric treatment centers, which is the mental health aspect, resorts, rodeos. I am not kidding you. They're athletes too.
Yes.
Shopping malls, upscale grocery stores, and veterinarians and racetracks. So we don't teach animal massage, but that might be a fun time to talk about continuing education.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Yeah, go for it.
So we do offer continuing education classes here. So we offer those several times a year. So that's just another thing for us for building community, that it's not just about being here for 16 weeks, graduating and bye, we'll never see you again. That we really focus on building community here. So there's a few ways we do that. One way is through continuing education classes, that for a massage therapist, you are required to take continuing education classes every 2 years for your license renewal.
Most states too.
So we offer those here, so you can always come back, see us again, get your continuing ed. And then we also have created a Facebook group, me and Susan, for NMSM students and alumni. So Liz and Matthew, maybe we can get that out in some way. So I would invite any prospective students for the massage school to join our Facebook group and see posts from our students. Right now, we're about 9 members, but we're hoping to get up there more. But to see things like, see pictures from our classroom, see what we're doing here, see what our graduates are doing, see them, passing the MBLEX and starting careers, and, post there, say, ask our graduates, ask our students, our alumni, what do they like about our school? if you need housing, we can help you contact people for housing. There's so many things we can do with that. And do we want to talk a little bit about even just some of our instructors here?
Please.
Sure,
Some of our
definitely.
instructors
Please do.
Yes, please. Thank you.
careers in massage. Of course, Susan has done a lot. So you can, be in private practice and be an entrepreneur like Susan. And it's an amazing career if you want to start your own business, if you want to work for yourself, if you want to have flexible hours, maybe you have kids or you just want to work part-time like Susan. So it's an amazing career for that. It's so easy to start your own business in massage. You can also work for employers if you want to, work for an employer and, have, health insurance and retirement offered by someone else and all those things. There's lots of employers that offer that and still have the flexibility with hours. So there's lots of opportunity for that. We have a very diverse faculty where they do amazing things. You can work, somewhere like I worked, which was the Ayurvedic Institute, if you want to do more kind of energy work, more, natural medicine, Ayurveda, polarity therapy, things like that. There's definitely lots of places you can work if you're interested in that. We have one instructor who travels around with sports teams.
I think we should name drop.
Right.
We should name
We
drop.
should name drop.
Great name drop, Ruth. Yeah.
Our instructor, Ruth Cummings. She's amazing. You can look up her website online. She travels around with sports teams and is their massage therapist. And that's really amazing that she does that. So she teaches sports massage here. Our instructor, David Lang, he's amazing as well. He actually works at UNM Hospital with children who have cancer. So he teaches hospital-based massage and hospice care. And he has amazing stories about the work that he's done, just such, beautiful, selfless work with
The
children.
story is a powerful one for me too. It really touched me about his grandmother and siblings massaging him as a child, and that's how he discovered what an amazing healing practice it is. I know that, Julia, just like you're saying, David's story really resonated with me for all those reasons too.
Yeah, he said he was born with a disability and almost crippled. And through that practice of massage, the doctor gave his family a choice. He can have surgery, which the outcome was uncertain, or teach his family how to massage him. And then he ended up becoming a professional dancer in New York. And then to maintain his athleticism, he continued on and learned massage himself, and now is teaching and serving others. So that's an incredible story, one of our faculty members.
Yeah, we also have Andrew, who has a clinical background. He has a degree in sports medicine. And so he's able to give that flavor to our faculty and to our teaching program. Lauren actually does Asian body work, and she also works in a spa. So you have that element in your educational curriculum. Kate is our residential aromatherapist, plant energy, plant medicine. That's kind of fun.
Also an herbalist.
Also an herbalist. They're awesome. And then Glinda brings in the her background is physical therapy. So she brings in that flavor. So it is an incredible faculty that really we are so delighted to have and be surrounded by great minds, great hearts, and great hands.
Wonderful.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. So Susan, we've talked about career, and I know you know some really interesting stats. What is the average salary for a massage therapist? And we know it's hiking up, but then also just the demand compared to other occupations.
Well, I want to, this is actually really interesting because I do a lot of presentations at conferences. So I looked at these stats pre-COVID. And so for 2017, it was $39,000 a year. I looked at it this morning in preparation for the webinar. We're up to $46,900. And again, that's not saying what you're going to make. It just, the least amount or the most amount you can make, because a lot of people make more. but that's just kind of an average. These stats are collected by the United States Department of Labor Statistics. And one of the things most fascinating to me is that they predict a 32% increase in occupational outlook, is what they call it. So there's going to be much more demand than there is therapists filling that demand. And that trend's supposed to be for at least 10 years. And what they say is the average, 32 for massage therapists, the average of all occupations is 8%. So what is that, quadruple?
Incredible.
The math
So
quadruple any other of the average occupation. So great program, great price, great occupational outlook, fulfilling career. You mentioned the flexibility of the career. Don't you know, in 40 years, I've got married, had children, went back to get my professional degree, moved a couple of times, just so many things that happen. And massage has given me that flexibility to enjoy my life. At my age, in my retirement years, my goal was when I turned 50 to spend 1 month out of every year traveling abroad. And I managed to do that starting at about 55. But still, I'm able, with massage therapy, with teaching and with working with body work, I'm able to schedule my clients with other practitioners so I can take time off. Dealing with aging parents, many of us are dealing with aging parents. So I was able to take time off to take care of my parents when they needed me. Massage gave me the flexibility to do that. So I just cannot say what an amazing career massage therapy is.
yeah, and I'll add great support. You've talked a lot about the community we build, the network that you're walking into, just among our faculty alone, all of the connections and opportunities to learn in different areas. That's amazing. So that, kind of comes to the logistics part of things, finances. We do offer payment plans, but really this is an investment in yourself. I think both you, Susan and Julia, have really emphasized that. It's a life-changing experience. So there's no amount that can, that's too high or too low for this incredible opportunity. And then, moving to Albuquerque, for anyone who's maybe out of state, both of you have lived in the land of enchantment. Why Albuquerque? Susan, you're back. Can you just kind of describe what it's like living there?
Scenery, we were watching the sunset last night off our balcony, and it's like every single night is an absolutely beautiful, magical light show. The weather is amazing. The food is fantastic. I'm a foodie. This just a great place. And I moved so I could be in close proximity to the school. I walk to work every day. That also helps me keep in shape. It's just it's a great place to learn the healing arts.
Beautiful. Wow. Yeah.
I would love to take this opportunity just to say, any of our attendees, if there are any questions that you guys have as we're sort of heading towards the end, if there's anything that's come up, feel free to post it in the chat, and I'll pose it to Susan and Julia. I know one question we do get quite a lot, guys, and Julia or Susan, whoever feels comfortable answering it, is this question around licensing. I know that there's some, for someone new to the profession, there's some interest there. And I think maybe just speaking to that and, that process of how someone gets licensed and, what that means for them and, national versus state licensing, that sort of thing.
Well, there is no national license. Right now, we're working on what's called an interstate compact, which would mean it would work like a driver's license, to where if you're licensed in one state, what's called reciprocity, you can move to another state. It's actually also called privilege of practice. When you finish our program, you have to take a licensing exam. It's called the MBLEX. You also have to apply to the state. Now, again, going back to the conversation we had previously, you can get your training in Albuquerque, New Mexico through our school and take that transcript, and you can apply for a license in your home state, not just your education state. And so there is a process. that's involved, but right now we have a 100% pass rate on the licensing exam. We are very proud of that.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Prepare you for that. It is amazing. But again, we take our jobs our responsibility very, very seriously. So that's really licensing in a nutshell. Carl, it's another one of our faculty members, Carl, will also be on board to teach kinesiology. He has a background he's also on the state board. There's an organization called AMTA. He's a member of that. He's on the board. He also teaches, he taught Lomi Lomi in the past, but he'll also go over the state board requirements. There is something in New Mexico called a jurisprudence exam. But again, we prepare you for that. So licensing, we got you covered.
Yeah. And I know another question we often get too is just, is there part-time? Why is it full-time? It's Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 p.m. And that speaks to kind of your background and experience, Susan, in preparing students. Can you describe why we've chosen full-time, 16 weeks, a little bit more? For those who might want virtual or weekend tracks, what makes this full-time program so special?
So mainly because we want the immersive program. We want you to wrap your arms and legs around the material. We want you to stay focused. So we do, as Julia said earlier, we do lecture in the morning and labs in the afternoon. And we do that actually for a reason, because if you look at the research, you're more cognitively acute in the morning, and you're ready for some more hands-on, more visceral as opposed to cerebral activities. So that's one of the reasons why we do the lecture in the morning and the afternoon. We also give you the student clinic on a Friday. You've got the weekends to study. We have got to give you some study time, but also people want to really appreciate the immersion part of it. Now we do go to virtual when needed. We had during COVID, we were virtual. During moments people had to be sick, they stayed at home and we Zoomed in the classes. So there is a huge technology component to it, but people tend to learn better. And actually, it's mastery versus performance is the term they use in education. Face-to-face learning is about mastery, and this is what we're focusing on. If you just want to learn like the not the personal and the humanistic pieces, online is great. But we understand it. We do use a lot with a learning management system. It's a whole other conversation we can have. But we really want this to be a face-to-face business, because you're going to be working with clients. Guess what? Face-to-face.
In person. Yeah, it makes sense.
And 16 weeks is, to me, just about right, because you're not burned out at the end like a longer program might take. We don't give you superfluous stuff. We clearly define what's entry level and what's continuing education, and it's crystal clear, and when you graduate and you're working.
Yeah, and I will add too that having it as a 4-month program makes it more affordable for students, because a lot of programs out there might be 9 months or a year where students have to take off all that time from working. And that was a big draw to some of our students, is that they only have to take 4 months off work, that they can work, save up enough to cover 4 months expenses, and then they can plan on working again right after.
And pay themselves back.
Yeah, quickly.
Make it more affordable. And that's something I talked with the students about too, because some people have told us that we need to make it a longer program and make it a little less intense. And I talked to the students, because one thing we do with our student clinic is it is a full day where you're giving 8 massages in a day. And
oh, wow.
Yeah, and it is a lot. And it was so funny. I put a photo on Facebook of our students, because the first day that they did the student clinic, 8 massages a day, I came in the classroom and they were all laying on the massage tables, just passed out. They were so tired by the end of the first day. And then on the end of the 8th day, the 9th day, which was the last day of the student clinic, they came to me and they're like, Julia, we want to retake the group photo for student clinic.
Oh.
And I was like, okay. And they're like, we're going to do power poses. So at the end of the last day, they did their power pose where they were strong and they were empowered, and they confident, and they knew that they can make a full-time career out of this, that they don't feel like they have to limit themselves to only doing, 2 or 3 massages a day. They know that if they have to, they can do 8 per day, and they can make a good living doing this. So I asked the students after, I was like, if we could have done a longer program and had less classes per day, would you have wanted to do that? And everyone unanimously said no.
Yeah, they understood why we did what we did.
That they, by the end, like at the beginning, they were a little hesitant about it, but by the end, they're like, no, this was the right way to do it, and we're glad that we did it this way.
Wow, this is incredible. It just sounds like a perfect combination. You get great support. If you need housing support, we've got short-term, long-term housing. We've got businesses ready to hire. You're learning from the best of the best in massage and other healing modalities. It's incredible.
Yeah. And we've got incredible spaces too. I just want to let everyone know who's watching this that we're going to be releasing a video soon. It's a wonderful video where Susan's going to be giving a tour of our classroom space and the spaces, and you see Julia working with the students. It's just a really wonderful experience to see where you will be learning, and we'll be sharing that. As soon as it's ready, our production guys are sort of putting the last few touches on it, and when we're ready, we'll be emailing that out to you guys. And I think and speaking to that it's a wonderful space, Susan. I think that you guys have injected so much energy, and it's this wonderful, welcoming, classroom experience. And I'm just excited for people to see what you've made there, because it comes through so beautifully in that video. Yeah.
Yeah. So sign up where the next class and cohort starts in July. Where applications are open now, and kind of our next steps. We'll have anyone who's joined us today, we will have team members reaching out. So if you see a strange number, you might want to pick up. We have incredible teammates who are there. It's part of our community support, really inviting you in and understanding your story, what your situation is, and how we can help support you. Because we just all believe so wholeheartedly in the power, the magic, the healing potential of massage. So join us. Julia, Susan, any last thoughts?
No, just echo what you said. We'd love to have you come join us and experience the magic of massage.
Yes, and don't forget, you get that application fee waived, and we'll support you. Just take that next step, and we're here for you. Can't wait to meet everyone who joins us.
So excited. Thank you, Julia. Thank you, Susan. You guys, that was fantastic, really. Liz and I often joke that if we weren't in the marketing team, we would come study here.
Yes.
Very,
very certainly.
Our door is open.
That's right. Wonderful. All right. Well, thank you both for your time, and we'll see you soon.
Okay.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.